A shot in the arm, a chance that we've turned the corner against coronavirus.
Evan, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
The delivery trucks are here.
This is exciting.
Thousands of vaccine doses will be given in the coming days. It's the beginning of a long process which could end the pandemic.
It's a powerful and emotional moment to celebrate the beginning of the end of the pandemic.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, you really only get applause at the doctor's office when you are part of history. Frontline workers at UC Health Poudre Valley Hospital received Colorado's very first doses of the coronavirus vaccine today.
Kevin Londegren was number one. He's a respiratory therapist, works in the hospital's ICU. 95% of his patients have COVID. And despite being high risk, he continued to report to work.
We've had to improvise and overcome a lot of obstacles, especially in the beginning. We didn't have the rooms, we didn't have the negative pressure. And as a team, the whole hospital, when I say a team, we've adapted and we've overcome all those obstacles.
And yes, the vaccine is the light at the end of the tunnel. Boy, we are in the thick of it right now. The United States today reported 300,000 total deaths. Colorado itself added 74 new deaths today because of the virus and added 2,900 new cases. Denver7's Sloan Dickey joins us now.
And Sloan, you were tracking the governor as he received and delivered the first shipment of the vaccine today.
Yeah, and the governor actually signed for that first shipment from FedEx. And with that, those Pfizer coronavirus vaccines are being delivered across the state. The governor said this is the first step in the beginning of the end for the coronavirus.
Thank you, FedEx.
It's the holiday shipment we've all been waiting for.
Show me where to sign. This is exciting.
Governor Polis receiving Colorado's first doses of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine on Monday morning.
It's a powerful and emotional moment to celebrate the beginning of the end of the pandemic for everybody.
The state is expected to receive more than 40,000 doses this week, headed directly to frontline workers.
This vaccine, once it's widely distributed, will end this pandemic.
The vaccine is a feat of modern science, available at hospitals less than a year after researchers began looking for a cure. But officials say its arrival does not signal the pandemic's end.
But we have to be careful. This is just the beginning of a very long road.
It may take months to vaccinate hospital staff and essential workers. The general public likely won't have access until summer of 2021. Another problem, the Pfizer vaccine needs to be stored at -70 degrees Celsius. Once it comes to room temperature, its shelf life is a matter of hours.
We need to have arms lined up and ready to go. Once you start taking that vaccine out of the ultra-cold storage, it starts to expire rapidly.
But others are on the way, including one from Moderna that does not require ultra-cold storage. Colorado is expected to receive more than 95,000 doses once it's approved next week.
Just hope that Coloradans stay patient. We're totally relying on the federal government as far as distribution.
There's still a long ways to go.
You know, this is the beginning.
But hope in the form of a vaccine has arrived in Colorado.
This is the gateway to the end of this pandemic.
There it is. The vials are right there.
Now, state leaders say that they're urging patience from all of us as we wait for further shipments of those coronavirus vaccines. But they say this is the first step in the ending of the pandemic. Shannon?
Gosh, we have all waited for that hope and see it see it ourselves. Thanks so much, Sloan. And right now, 1,585 people are in our hospitals with the virus or virus symptoms. You can see the graph curving in the right direction right now. And for the first time of the month, there are fewer than 1,600 hospital beds in use. And Denver7 is committed to making sure you get the answers you need about the COVID-19 vaccine.
We have posted an extended Q&A, and you can find that on thedenverchannel.com. And many of you want to know how much the vaccine will cost. Well, the CDC says it will be free if you're taking one of the doses bought with taxpayer money. However, that doesn't mean the experience will be free. Vaccination providers can charge you an administrative fee, which should be reimbursed by insurance or a special relief fund.
Now, others have asked about side effects, and here's what an expert with UC Health told us just last week.
The vaccine is only 9 months old, so the side effects that have been reported are minor side effects that are commonly associated with first vaccines, meaning the first time you've been vaccinated. And they are muscle aches, pain at the site of injection, low-grade fever for less than 24 hours. Some people have reported some nausea and some diarrhea, and most of the people have reported that the symptoms were preventable or abated with Tylenol or Motrin.
Still, we know you have so many questions. So tomorrow night at 6:30, I hope you'll join me in a panel of experts as we answer as many of your questions as possible. In fact, you still have time to submit a question. We've already received hundreds. We are reading through them all. Just email us at 360@thedenverchannel.com.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Send it over to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. Woke up to some cold and some snow, and I think there might be some more of both on the way.
We're going to wake up to it again tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact. A Denver 7 weather action day. Chilly temperatures are already in place, and the snow is not far behind. Already developing just to the west and northwest of the Denver area, and it's been filling in quite a bit just in the last 2 hours. A little bit heavier to the north of us right now, and later on tonight it's going to be heavier down to the south of us, because that's where the winter weather advisories are in effect for the southeast corner of the state. Up to 6 inches of snow expected there. So weather headlines: light snow overnight. It's not going to be a big storm, but with the cold temperatures in the teens, there will be icy spots and stretches by morning, and then we'll get a little clearing. But then there's a couple more little storms coming our way later on in the week as a series of minor storm systems move across the Central Rockies. I'll have the full forecast details and how much snow you can expect in your neighborhood in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. Denver City Council expected to approve a new contract with police officers tonight. They last voted on a contract 3 months ago and vetoed that deal, leading to arbitration between the two sides. Now, under this new deal, DPD will have a pay freeze in 2021, and officers will get 2 raises in 2022.
And tonight, Wheat Ridge City Council will discuss whether to ban homeless people from the center medians, among several other proposals to tighten rules on the homeless. So if the median proposal passes, it's likely to face a challenge in court, because Greeley agreed to stop enforcing a similar rule last year after pressure from the ACLU.
Attorney General Bill Barr will not make it to the end of the Trump administration. The president announced just this afternoon that Barr is leaving the job on December 23rd. Deputy Attorney General Jeff Rosen will take over for the remaining month of Trump's term. And the final electoral votes were cast at the top of the hour. Hawaii's 4 votes cement Joe Biden's 306 to 232 victory over Donald Trump in this year's election. And we are expecting President-elect Biden to address the country within the hour.
So usually the electoral tradition plays out pretty quietly across America. Of course, not this year. Denver7's Ivan Rodriguez was at the Colorado Capitol as electors cast their votes.
Do solemnly swear.
Typically, Americans don't see this part of democracy at work. Historically, electors vote for the same candidate who won the popular vote in their state. This time around in Colorado, electors were required to do so by law.
And fill them out for the person who received the most votes for president for the state of Colorado.
But with this vote today, I'm hopeful that they see that our democracy does work, and that our Constitution works.
For Polly Baca, who has been an elector 4 times and opposes the Electoral College, today's vote is historic.
And I am honored to have been able to be a part of it, although I'm also sad because not everyone can experience this joy.
She's in favor of a national popular vote. Colorado also voted to stay in the National Popular Vote Compact. As electors around the room put pen to paper to certify President-elect Joe Biden's win, Judy Angelito hopes Americans will accept the result of the election.
I mean, it felt solemn, and it felt like a real responsibility to carry out the will of the people of Colorado. I'm just happy to have this over, because I'm hoping, since this is happening throughout our country, that the democratic process is going to be honored.
An election unlike any other in our history, passing yet another checkpoint.
Colorado casts its 9 electoral votes for Joe Biden.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver7.
Took it, put it in the back of their car, and sped away.
In a matter of seconds, thieves took the heaters a restaurant owner was banking on to survive the cold winter. And tonight, he's getting a helping hand.
There's way more great people than the scumbags that took my heater.
Plus, one Colorado school is voting to remove Native American images from its logos. And Amazon is expanding its reach even further, unveiling a self-driving car.